Hi, in this video we'll take a look at the Amplify Fusion HTTP server component, and this time we'll look at how to set a response and access query parameters, path parameters, and headers. Recall we did our first HTTP server video where we actually posted a body and there was no response because of 204 you don't have a response body. So this time we will actually do an HTTP GET, and then we will return some data and access query parameters and path parameters and headers. So I'm going to create an integration, number 2. And if you don't recall how we did this, go to the first video, Hello HTTP Server. But what I'll do is I'll add an HTTP Server GET. In the first video we did a post. And we already have our connector, which we created in the Hello HTTP Server. And our resource path was user because we posted a user. Let's add a query parameter, user status. No, that's path parameter. Let's make that the query parameter. And for the path parameter, let's just make it user ID. So we will get user ID. And let's also add a custom header. Okay, let's save that. And I can activate this and get my URL. Let's come over here, make a GET request. And the user status will just say inactive. And notice that in Amplify Fusion we use a curly brace syntax for that. And in Postman it's a colon. So I'll put user ID there, and the user ID value will be 1111. And what was our header? Custom header. So let's come over here, add a custom header. I have a carriage return there. Let's get rid of that. And let's make it. All right, and let's send this. And it didn't work because I don't have an authorization. So if you recall, it was basic authentication, ABCD, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's my GET, and I don't have any data there because we haven't set anything. So let's take a look at the monitor and let's see what we found. Well, there's my HTTP server 2. Let's look here. And let's see here that I've got a header set, my custom header. I've got a query parameter set, and I've got a path parameter set, and I have my query parameter set. So that's great. Now let's look at setting the response to my call. So let's just deactivate this. Let's add a map component. And if you recall, not that it matters, we can return anything, but this was sort of what we had before, first name, last name, email. All right, let's come back to our integration. Let's create a variable to hold our response, and that will be a document, and it's user. And it has 3 properties, add string variable inside. It was first name. And we're making this up, it could be anything, according to your API. Last name and email. And let's populate this. Set value John. Last name Doe. Email jdoe@gmail.com. Save that and save. So how do we, let's also do one more thing. Let's retrieve all the parameters, the query, the path parameter, and the header value. Let's just put that into some variable just so we can show that we can retrieve that. value. Okay, and let's set that. Let me grab, here's how I access the query parameter. Let's grab the user status, put a comma after that. Let's also grab the ID. Let's put a comma after that. And let's grab the header, the custom header value. All right, let's save that. Let's come back to our HTTP server and let's configure the response. So if I click the response here, I can have a hard-coded response, and I can also send that response before the flow executes. Those are two nice options for debugging. But if I want to map the response with error responses or success responses, then I need to come here, and I can expand this HTTP response input. Let's bring that up here. And I'll, for now, set the status to 200. I will grab the body, that would be the user. Let's set the content type to application JSON, so that user will represent it as JSON. And let's add another custom header for the response. X custom response header, and let's set its value to that value of the input header, the user ID, and the query parameter. All right, so now when I set this and make a GET request, let's change it up a little, not too much. And get that header value and send that. Now you see I have a nice response, John Doe. And if I look here under the header, you can see the X custom response header is inactive, and then the user ID of 2222, and then the custom header on the request. So in this video, we saw how to expand upon the HTTP server, how to access query parameters, path parameters, how to add custom headers, how to retrieve all that data, and then how to set a response on your HTTP server GET. Thank you.